Hey, look who it is. Dasher J is still alive. How y'all doing? You miss me? A lot has happened since the last time I saw you guys. It's been what? Probably a few months. A lot has gone down. Basically got my car rebuilt. I got a new engine, new transmission, new catalytic converter. Shout out to my mom for helping me out with that. Mama T. Shout out Mama T. So I got that all taken care of. Car's now paid off, which is also good news. I haven't made any videos lately, just mainly because summer slowdown. It hasn't been that busy. I've been like off and on schedule like every day throughout the day, and it was just like too much to try to remember to record, and then like, you know, I'd go offline for a little bit, get back online, and just I would actually recorded some stuff, and then I would just like forget later on in the day to finish the video or whatnot. So it was just like bits and pieces of videos is all I would actually do. So today is October 30th, 9:53 a.m. We are currently going to Chick-fil-A. Sorry about this setup, the fat boy view. My clip that I was using before is somewhere in the car. I think I threw it in the back. I gotta find it and reattach it so I can give you my better perspective. But anyway, I'm at like $27 this morning already before I thought about turning the camera on. So I did a $6 order for McDonald's, like 1 mile, 1.2 miles or something like that, easy one. Then I did a Starbucks $6.50 for like 2.8 miles, 2.4 miles. Then it got quiet for a while. I went all the way back to my spot, as you remember, the old Applebee's. I sat there for a while, 20 minutes or so. Finally got, actually got a Grubhub double offer. It was $17 for 16 miles. But one of the orders was something they sent me a few minutes before. It was terrible. It was like $12 for 16 miles heading way out of town. So they batched that with another order to make it $17 for 16 miles. So what I did, I accepted it, and then I immediately dropped the crappy order because I knew exactly which one it was. And it turned out being like $7.50 for 3 miles. So it turned out to be a good move on my part. Actually, right after I accepted that, I started headed towards, it was a Jason's Deli order. I accepted that, headed towards Jason's Deli, and then I had an Uber Eats come through. Nothing great. It was like $7.58 for 5.8 miles or something like that for McDonald's. But the McDonald's was actually close to my drop-off for the Jason's Deli. So I was like, okay, well that, you know, makes sense to take that. So, which I did. No, what is that? No. Why am I getting Uber X offers? I have that turned off. Anyway, did that. Both of those. That put me like 27. Drove all the way back to my spot. Got a couple offers that weren't good. Declined them. Excuse me. Now I've got a Chick-fil-A. $9 for 4.5 miles. So this put me, what, 36 bucks? It is $9.55. So I should hit my $40 goal, barring some kind of a monumental disappointment. But we'll go in and grab this, and we'll keep the day rolling. Good morning. That's the one. Sorry about that. That was actually an okay Grubhub. It was, I mean, I probably wouldn't have accepted it. $6.66 for 1.2 miles. Not today, Satan. So after sitting here for several minutes in the Chipotle and Panera parking lot, about 20 minutes, I got a Chipotle that I had a few offers, nothing great, but they finally gave me this Chipotle that's okay. I took it because it's basically taking me up to the other zone that's up north of here, where I've had actually decent luck lately. Come on, people. Jesus. It's $12 for 7.6 miles. So the dollars to miles isn't the greatest, but it's pulling me into a busy zone. So I figured it's worth it. This thing does not want to stay still. Sorry about that. But, so yeah, this put me at what? 30, 40, 80, carry the 2. 48 bucks. It's 10:46. Here at State and Perryville, like the busiest intersection in town, probably. Chick-fil-A's right across here on the right. NFL season's in full swing. Bears have been okay. I thought they would be a little better than they have been, just because they've got Ben Johnson. I thought they'd be a little more disciplined. They're like the most penalized team in the league, which is irritating. Caleb Williams hasn't quite taken the strides that I thought he might take. He's shown glimpses, but how many times have we said that as a Chicago Bears fan? Every quarterback, he's showing some signs, that he might have a little something in there, and then they become Justin Fields and bouncing around from team to team and not really sticking anywhere because they just can't produce like they need to. Bears haven't had a real elite quarterback since I've been alive, really. Closest thing we've had has been Jay Cutler. Bro. This thing is so loose. But anyway, and Jay Cutler was actually, when you look at his numbers, he was better than we really gave him credit for. He had the one bad year when he first came to the Bears where he just threw a ton of interceptions. And then he kind of came back down to earth after that. But anyway, back at Chick-fil-A again. $12 for 7.8 miles. Let's get it. All right, quick little update. I took that order all the way up north towards that hot zone. It wasn't as far north as I thought, so I didn't quite get to that hot zone. Dropped it off, and I basically drove all the way back to my spot before I got another offer. Decent one, though. It is a double order, and it's a little lower paying for a double order than I normally would accept, but $13 for 5 miles, and it keeps me right in this hot area. So it is Chipotle was the first one, which I have right here, and the second one is Outback. But $13 for 5 miles, it's a possibility that this Outback could be a hidden tip too. So we'll see. But Outback, this is the back of a strip mall right here, and there's like a little road that goes behind it that nobody is smart enough to take. So, whoops. So I'm gonna zip through here. Well, not zip, but come through here carefully because there are a lot of blind corners that you got to turn and people wandering around occasionally. But you come out the other end behind this strip mall. I mean, there's like a Kohl's and a Michael's and basically any store that you would ever see in a strip mall. There's a Five Below is in this. Dick's Sporting Goods is in this strip mall. So we're gonna zip on behind here, little shortcut, and then you get to the end of it and turn right around the other end of the strip mall, and that's where the Outback is. So I suppose I'll keep the camera on so you can see. Nothing much over here to the left, just like open fields behind this little wooded areas. There's like a cornfield actually. It's when you know you're in Illinois and in the Midwest. It's like partial cornfield, partial just whatever, floodplain kind of thing. So we're coming around the end of this little strip mall here. I have the stop sign and they don't, but they're going to stop anyways because people are dumb. Go people. I have a stop sign. Go people. I have a stop sign. Go people. I have a stop sign. Jesus Christ. They all stop and look at me while I'm sitting at a stop sign that they don't have. Anyway, there's Outback. Let's go see what it's all about. Alright, so double offer complete. $13 for 5 miles. It's kind of why I don't like doing stacked orders that are that low paying. I mean, $13 for 5 miles is okay, but usually, 2 orders for $13, that's $6.50 an order. So it's basically 2 lower paying orders. The tips are okay, $5.50 and $4.50. The Chipotle was the smallest order, and that had the furthest distance. That's one reason why I don't like stacked orders, because a lot of times the shittiest order is the one that takes the longest amount of time. Number two, the second order, the Outback order, I waited like 10 minutes. So when you're doing a stacked order, that's 4 stops in most cases, because you're going to 2 different restaurants and then 2 different drop-off locations. And it'll take me like 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes, somewhere in there. I didn't really time it, to make $13, which is okay, but it's like too much getting in and out of the car. It's just tedious. It's not hard. It's easy. This job's easy. That's why I don't like taking stacked orders that don't pay more than at least like $16 an hour. $16 total. Because if it's $16 for 2 orders, it's at least like an average of $8 per offer. So that would be good. $13, you just have more of a chance of getting a snag. Either the restaurants don't have the order ready, or maybe the customer drop-off location is a pain in the ass, like an apartment where you need like a code, or like hard to get access to or something. You just increase your chances of having an issue when you have four separate stops to make, just to make $13. So when, on a given order, I shoot for $2 per mile, obviously. Now, I'd rather do like a $8 for 4 miles than $13 for 5 mile double order. Just because the $8 for 4 miles is just going to be 2 stops. In most cases, you don't have to worry about snags because it's just one order. I don't know. What are your thoughts on stacked orders? I always fear that in most cases, which is true, they pair one shitty order up with a good order. And by shitty, I mean like a less desirable customer that's more, has more of a chance of making a complaint on you or giving you like a bad review because they're trying to get a freebie. That's the reason why stacked orders exist. In most cases, is to get you to pick up an order that's not as desirable. They pair it up with a good one to make it look more appetizing. So, all said and done, $13 for 5 miles, not too bad. The 10-minute wait at Outback was rather annoying, considering there was like 3 tables in the whole restaurant. So it was like completely dead. I feel like they didn't start until I got there, but what can you do? I was about to make a video about Starbucks, or make a clip about Starbucks. I was curious on people's experience with Starbucks offers. I feel like the early morning Starbucks offers are always far better. Like the earlier in the day you get a Starbucks offer, the better it is. Now this is an exception. It's kind of funny that I actually got a good one. But anytime after like, I say, I don't know, 11 a.m., if I get Starbucks offers, they're always shit. They're always $3 or $4 for 4 or 5 miles. Or worse. And before I accepted this one, I got one. It was exactly that. It was $4 for 4.2 miles or something like that. And like as soon as I saw it was Starbucks, I knew it was just going to be a bad offer. Whereas like 7, 8 in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, you get a lot of good offers, or in my area, at least, for Starbucks. But anytime after like, say, 11 o'clock, once the lunch rush starts into the afternoon, they're almost always no tip. And I don't know why that is. It's very bizarre. There's exceptions, like this one. This is $8.50 for 4.2 miles. And this is a new Starbucks. And this is my first time walking in here. We just opened in my market like 3 new Starbucks in the last year. And there's a 4th one being built close to my house, which looks like it's set to open here in the next month or so. But yeah, Starbucks orders are weird like that. Do you have any restaurants or anything like that where like you see the offer at a certain time of day, like, well, if they're ordering from here at this time of day, it's going to be a shitty offer, and it usually is. That's how it is with Starbucks for me. Anyways, we'll go pick this up. All right, quick little update. 2:23 p.m. I think I'm at like $98. Forgot to turn on the camera for a few orders. I got a Sweets and Eats order. It was 11 something, almost $12 for 6 miles. I did that. I did a Chipotle like $8.50 for 6 miles. I took that because it seemed like it was quieting down. And now I've got a Wendy's, $7.18 for 4.1 miles. About to go over the river here. Picked up Peyton from school. And we are out. I don't know if I'm going to stay out all night or not. There's a trunk or treat thing happening downtown. Peyton wants to go to that, but she also wants to obviously trick or treat tomorrow, since tomorrow night is Halloween. Like, I got to work at least one of the 2 nights. So, depending on how the next few hours go, I guess, will determine whether or not we go to trunk or treat tonight. So, shoot across the river here. Nice views of the Rock River, sort of. But, yeah. So, we'll get this dropped off. We'll see what we get next. Alright, so now I got a double order. $22 for 9 miles. Mr. Beast Burger and Nothing But Kicks. Mr. Beast Burger is in front of this Walmart. Inside of this Walmart, rather. All kinds of ghost kitchens in here. You got Asian food, you got burgers, you got cheesesteaks, you got desserts. There's a Cheesecake Factory in here. Pretty crazy. Well, it is 4:56 p.m. I am approaching the wife's work, which is just ahead, the tall building there, just slightly to the right of the center of the video. I'm at 100. It's been an okay day. I thought I'd do a little better on the Thursday so far, but it's not bad. $136 so far at 5 o'clock, so not too bad. I've been out pretty much all day. I went home for just a few minutes when I dropped off Peyton. The last order I did was just 12, I think it was $12.25 for like 8 miles for Buffalo Wild Wings, so not that great, but I had to come downtown anyway to pick up the wife, so this is the direction it was coming, so it kind of made sense. And it's working out pretty much perfectly. 4:57 now, she gets off at 5, so. Ooh, excuse me. Here we are. Overall, been a solid day. Pretty nice day. Chilly. Got kind of a mess up here. Tighten this up a little bit. Got this. I don't know what the hell this thing even is. Anyway. So yeah, I'm probably going to end the video here because I don't know if I'm going to be going back out tonight. And if I do, I probably just won't record anything. I'll tell you about it in the morning. If you like my videos, please give me a like. Glad to see y'all again. Subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'd like to hear about how all of your summers have been. Mine was solid. It was very hot here for the Midwest summer. It was hotter than normal, like egregiously hot. It didn't cool off until like mid-October. We were having 90-degree weather in the second week of October. It was crazy. But thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.